Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and one that I never thought I'd really do, and that is using a free-to-play unit in against some of the most difficult content in the game. So we're using the new Prime Battle EZA BROLY against Beast Gohan. Probably one of the best free-to-play units we've ever gotten in the game. And we're just going to hop straight into using him against difficult enemies. And I'm very much looking forward to this. He only has 105k defense to start with. Not that that matters. And because we do have his entrance animation, I mean, you can see by his key right there, where we randomly get 8 to 10 key at the start of turn. So getting a 24 key super with him is kind of almost guaranteed right now. We've got that 26% healing going on, which combined with Int BROLY, we do have quite a solid amount of healing, depending on how many orbs we get, I think. So 30 mil. We're not going to do a lot of damage with him, but defensively is where BROLY's at. So as a slot 3 unit, it's kind of like, I don't want to disrespect him and say a filler unit, but as a slot 3 unit, because this team's full of insane units, so it's not like he's going to be on main rotation a lot of the time. But to hop in slot 3, say if you didn't have Cell Max, say if you didn't have Kid Buu or Team Turles or Int BROLY or one of the new units, BROLY is a free-to-play unit that you could literally go get and max out wherever you wanted, and EZA. You could slot him onto this team and I think he'll be very comfortable. Very comfortable. But yeah, we've got healing going on for 2 turns and also a guaranteed additional going on for 4 turns as well. Which unfortunately will be gone by the time we get to Beast. But again, he's not here to do damage. He's not here to do damage because he doesn't get 50% defense on 12 keys, just the 18. So we miss out on some damage. And I mean, this team does enough damage as it is. So I don't really mind that too much. But the main thing is, and this is why you need to be in slot 2 or slot 3, which is why Beast is a little bit dangerous, but we do have Sensus in our back pocket, so he won't be getting locked in slot 1. I'm not going to let it happen. When he super attacks, you've got that 30% damage reduction. As long as all the units in the same team are on uncontrollable power, gets an extra 30% damage reduction, which the entire team is an uncontrollable power category team. So no matter what, he's going to have 60% damage reduction at all times. And that's just on a free-to-play unit. But don't forget, a free-to-play EZA LR. So he doesn't have the same stats, as, of course, as premium units, but a bit better than other free-to-play units. And then not only that as well, we have the build-up. We have the build-up, where he gets additional 30% chance to crit and 30% damage reduction with each turn that passes until turn 7. So by the time we get to about turn 6, which is also where we can use his active skill, which is a taunt, where he gets guaranteed guard and all the attacks are directed to him, we'll have 90% damage reduction after supering. And then for some part of that rotation, he'll have 60% damage reduction and guard, which on a free-to-play unit is insane. And then for the attacks that come after he super attacks, he'll have 90% damage reduction and guard, which means even some of the hardest hitting super attacks in the game of 2.5 million plus probably won't kill him. I say probably won't, they definitely won't kill him. They'll hardly do anything, they'll do next to nothing. So I generally believe Prime Battle LR BROLY probably has to be one of the best free-to-play units we've ever gotten in the game. Ever. And it's mad to think we generally have a free-to-play unit on main rotation battling out against Beast right now. It's just not something you see in Dokkan all too much anymore, just because the content is just that difficult. But regardless, I'm here for it, and let's give BROLY and everyone else a bit of a boost. Because I'm not going to lie, it also helps out, because that way we're going to do more damage. So it means we can actually get through the event a bit quicker, which actually helps BROLY, because of course, by the time we get to turn 6 is when his full passive is up. Turn 7 is when he starts losing it, and we lose that 30%. Which means he still has 60% damage reduction, which is good once he super attacks. But with this team doing as much damage as it can actually do, especially while Domain's active, especially while we've got all the support flying about, it does also mean that with all the damage we can do, and also if you got lucky with additionals and crits on a lot of these units, it does mean you can kind of, depending on how lucky you get, but with the amount of damage you do, should be fairly easy to do. You can kind of just fly through some of these events and keep most of BROLY's damage reduction for as long as possible, or at least get him to the hardest part of the stage where you really want to make the most of it. So that's one thing which is a massive, massive benefit, which I'm trying to do now, but I don't think we're going to get through that easy. I do have some dodge in him just because he doesn't need crits. He does have built-in crit. So he's basically got full additional and full dodge, just to give him that bit extra. But honestly, I never thought I'd see the day I'd be taking a free-to-play unit in comfortably against one of the most difficult enemies in the game. Again, we're still waiting for the final cut 2 stages to come out for Supreme Magnificent Battle, which has already been shown by Dokkan. And then we'll probably start testing out units against the final stage of the new Supreme Magnificent Battle. So, of course, we're going to go back with, you know, all the units from this celebration, some other units, and use them there as well. Do I use his active skill now? I'm going to use his active skill now just so we can get to the final phase quicker, because we are on turn 4. We are on turn 4, because let's not forget, it's each turn pass. So even when BROLY isn't on rotation, we're building up his crit chance and damage reduction, and we're getting closer towards turn 7. So I'm having EZA Tech LR BROLY's active skill ready with type advantage so we can get there a bit quicker. And that way we can have at least some of it to use against Beast. Which, to be fair, I'm tempted. It might not be a good idea. He won't have all of it. Although, if we use his active skill, he'll also have guard, so it actually wouldn't matter. Or you could nullify, you scumbag. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you don't nullify Tech BROLY's super attack, because that's 57 mil with type advantage you're about to get absolutely clocked with. Are you serious? Yeah, I was going to say, how don't you dare dodge 3 of them. Or nullify 3 of them. Get out of here with that shit. Yeah, only took 1. Perfect. But that's sliding BROLY into slot 1, which I'm kind of tempted to do. Which we can actually do. I mean, he actually has most of his damage reduction. Of course, he's going to get an extra 30 when he supers. We don't have the active skill ready that, you know. Because we have to wait until turn 6. And this is what I said when we saw his details. It's like Dokkan knows. When you get to turn 6, he's going to have all of his damage reduction from the build-up, from the wait-in. And you can have him at 90% once he super attacks. But I kind of want to put him in... Oh, he doesn't have all of it. I mean, technically right now he has, what? A total of... He has... Wait, how much damage? He has 60% damage. No, he has 50% damage reduction right now. Which on a free-to-play unit just isn't enough, so I'm actually going to use a Sensu to get BROLY into slot 1. And then BROLY can at least super attack and get his extra damage reduction, which means we're actually going to have, even though he has 1 more turn to get all of it, it does mean that BROLY, once he super attacks, even without the active skill and guard, 235 from LR BROLY. So good, even with type disadvantage. But it does mean BROLY is going to have, after he super attacks, what, 80% damage reduction? With an extra 50% attack and defense on super, but 80% damage reduction, which is wild. Absolutely wild. Now, the next time he comes about, we are going to have his active skill ready as well. With the amount of damage we could potentially do with this team, I don't know if we're going to be able to see a rotation with the active and without it. Well, that's fine. The domain's gone. I'll just make another one. It's fine. The beauty of running dual in LR BROLYs, man. Love it. Love it. Carnival LR BROLY can stay in slot 1 where his guard is. And LR BROLY can go in slot 2. Actually, Beast super attacking us in slot 1 actually works out quite well, because then we can... I'm not even going to use his active skill on purpose, because then we can have less damage done this turn. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. You do that. You do that, because then you're going to stun him. Take 300k, but I mean, everyone else is fine in this rotation. The only one who's really going to make a dent, of course, is EZA BROLY, but that man is absolutely unstoppable. So we're just going to let him do his thing. But do I use the active? I kind of want to see what he does without it. I kind of want to see what BROLY does without it. Because with the active skill, there's guarantee, like, he's going to have a ton of damage reduction and guard. Even before he super attacks and gets the extra damage reduction, he's going to have, what, 50, 60% and guard. I mean, we've seen that within LR BROLY. Sure, he doesn't have probably anywhere near as much as defense as him, but we know how that works. You tank really well. And to be fair, Beast is about to be dead. See, this is the thing with this team. It just does so much damage. We could actually use the active skill just for the shits and giggles. I'm actually not going to, though, because we're going to have guard. He has a ton of damage reduction. We know how that plays out. I want to see how it is without it and just what he tanks for with the full damage reduction. 250 on a normal, 240. While that is a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, and he's only missing a little bit of extra attack and defense. I say a little bit. It's not actually a little bit. He's missing 180 and he's got extra damage reduction. He still survived though, right? Everything in slot 1 was against him. With the active skill, he probably would have been fine. Everything was against him there. Everything was against BROLY because we were missing 108% attack and defense. Let's not forget, he doesn't start with any. And we didn't have 30% damage reduction. So we were missing the extra 30% he gets from supering. And he took, don't get me wrong, a decent amount of damage. And if he got super attacked, he would have died. But he survived. He survived. If we had full HP, actually no, I think we might have had full HP. We had just over 700k HP in total. Yeah, 726k HP. 2 attacks, 500k. BROLY still survives. After he super attacks, double digits. Now, as I said, with the active skill, he would have survived 100%. That was from a free-to-play unit. Honestly, probably, as I said, one of the best free-to-play units we've ever seen. And he generally has a spot on the uncontrollable power category team if you want to bring him. Or if you're missing some of the other units that can go on this team, you have a free-to-play unit that is that good at your disposal who can actually just slide onto the team. And if you really wanted to, you could actually be put on main rotation. Better to have him in slot 3 because of how good the other units are, but he could generally go on main rotation, which is the wild thing. So if you're missing Cell Max, any of the new units, and you need a unit to fill this team out, go put BROLY on it because he's just that good. And it's not too often you get to see a free-to-play unit compete in difficult content like that. But let me know your thoughts on Prime LR BROLY down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.